Good evening. Um, Gordy Canuck, Gordon Dawsey. You're watching Act One, a Canadian take on news events, and it's the second day of September 2025, 9:45 p.m. I had been planning to do a video tonight. I'd actually was planning to start it off, or I was going to do a video talking about the ostrich farm. I've been planning this, kind of set up the thumbnail and all that yesterday. And uh, then today, some horrible, horrible news. Normally, most of my live videos they used to start out with Candy. Candy, the wonder dog, wonder pup, who came into the family March 18th of 2020. I often said we should have named her COVID or Corona. She came into the family March 18th of that year, 2020. The picture on the thumbnail that I put up is at my old unit. I was in the Army still back in 2020, and that's the back deck of the radar station that where I used to work. And the reason she came into the family on March 18th was because I had 2 weeks leave that were starting that day. And I had 2 weeks leave, and so I figured that would be a good time to bring a dog into the family because I'd be at home to acclimate and start, house training and all the rest. And I'm not sure exactly when that picture was taken, but I think it was probably a day or two, three, a week after she came into the family while I was still on leave because the two shoes you see off to the right, those are my shoes. I remember them. And so I was in civilian dress, and I imagine I went in to show off my new dog, my new puppy, Handy. And oh, she will be missed. All my videos would start out, I would make her sit down, shake a paw, lay down, speak, and then she'd jump up. She might get a hug. Very food motivated, very good dog. When I'd come home, she'd jump right up and put her paw. I'd get down on a knee and she would jump up and put her paws right around my shoulder. She wasn't a licker though. She didn't like to lick. She didn't slobber all over you. I don't know whether that's the breed, the whether that's the breed or whatever. My biggest concern was how my youngest, turning 12 shortly, just entered grade 7, how he would handle it. And I think he's holding up, at least outwardly, better than I am. He's taken it very well, taken it very in stride. Sarah, appreciate your comment. So sorry for the loss. She was a beautiful, good girl. And she was only 5.5. And what the veterinarian, she had, she had, the most likely explanation is that she had ingested something toxic, like a poison. And I have to openly speculate um, that I know that I have a former neighbor, a neighbor who only just moved within the last week, had been complaining about the rabbits in our neighborhood, a lot of rabbits. And she had told me I've spent a lot of money on my garden, on the flowers and that, and the rabbits were chewing it all up. And she's now moved. She just moved within the last week. But I think it's very possible that, and I'm not sure if she said this or not, but I think she may have laid down some poison. And Candy, I had mentioned on here before, she had caught a couple of rabbits over the last couple of years. She caught a couple, and um, one, well, actually two died. I didn't think that Candy necessarily tore them up. I think they died of stress. She also had gotten a hold of a possum at one point, but the possum lived. She played around with it for 10, 15 minutes before I got her away from it, and it lay there seemingly dead. But after getting her in the house, the possum was gone within 15, 20 minutes. So I think it was just plain possum. But I wonder whether she got a hold of a rabbit that had been poisoned. What happened was her appetite was off. She wasn't eating. Uh, and this has happened before, so I didn't worry too much about it. She's sometimes don't offer food for a time, okay. But then today she wouldn't even take treats, and she wasn't steady on her legs. So I took her to the veterinary hospital, and uh, uh, anyway, um, it was she was too far gone. So anyway, thank Hank, thank you for the condolences. Appreciated. Short video tonight. I just wanted to let you know. I might come on later in an hour or so and talk, do my best to try and talk about the situation with the ostrich farm. I do have some thoughts that I think are pertinent to the situation. And, you know, best to muddle on. It's going to be a tough few days, few weeks. It's going to be tough the first time I come home from work. It's going to be tough. It was tough. We were used to taking an evening walk with Candy, and tonight, in honor of Candy, the three of us, my wife, my youngest, the three of us did go for a walk. Our first walk without Candy. We even said, you know, this walk is in memory of Candy. And as we were walking, there's a neighbor who leaves out a bowl of water on his front lawn by the sidewalk. And, you know, my youngest remarked, "Oh, there's the bowl that Candy used to drink out of." And, you know, thinking about all the times we went down to Presqu'île, always took her to soccer. We always took her, even when we went to Aylmer during the COVID protests. Candy came along. The first time we went to Aylmer, Candy came to, and I remember going to a protest in Coburg when she was still a puppy, and she slipped the leash. She slipped her collar, and with all the noise and the traffic in front of City Hall in Coburg, she was running around like crazy, and it was really hard to corral her. And God love the policeman. There was a policeman there policing the protest in front of City Hall, and this is during all the lockdown stupidity. And this officer helped me corral her, helped me, uh, and I'm gonna miss her anyway. Um, and Hank saying, uh, Sarah saying, "God bless you and your family." Um, and Danny's adding to his usual, "Jesus is king," and then he writes, "Candy is with him." And Hank says, "I believe we will see our pets again. They have spirits." In his opinion. Uh, anyway, God bless everyone. We'll see how I am in an hour or so. Um, maybe around 10:30, 10:45. I'll talk about the situation at the ostrich farm. Try and keep the channel going without my co-host. Yeah, my wife asked, "Do you think we should get another dog?" And I said, "I'm not even thinking that now. I'll never say never, but my mind isn't there." And my youngest said, talk about it in 2 or 3 months. He's an incredibly smart kid. Let's get some distance. Anyway, God bless everyone. Thanks for the condolences. Sadly, I've been through this before, so uh, losing a pet is never easy. All right. God bless, and we'll see you all again soon, maybe later tonight.